Hello everyone. In this training session, we are going to see how to set up the payment terms in the Onfinity ERP system. For today's session, the agenda is to set up the payment terms. The objective is to enable you to understand the payment term and its associated elements in the context of business processes. The prerequisites for creating a payment term in Onfinity ERP include a configured tenant in your environment and organizational configuration within your tenant. Now, let's understand what a payment term is. A payment term refers to the agreed-upon conditions between a buyer and a seller that specify when and how a payment will be made for goods and services. It outlines the due date and payment schedule, and may include details like discounts for early payment or penalties for late payment. Examples of payment terms include 30 days, 60 days, 50% advance, 50% after delivery, and immediate payment. Now let's move on to the system. Log in with your credentials. Once logged in, you will land on a page where certain mosaics are available, but they may not display any data. This is because you are in the process of configuring the master data. If you want to generate your payment terms under the STAR organization, these will be visible to other organizations. Remove the filter to proceed. Use the search utility available in the menu to search for the payment term window. Alternatively, you can click on Master Data Management under the Business Partner Center. Under Terms and Conditions, you will find the payment term window. Click on it. By default, one payment term is configured during the tenant setup process. This is typically the immediate payment term. If needed, you can make changes to this existing term. Before creating new payment terms in the system, understand the fields available in the payment term window. The organization field, if marked as STAR, indicates that the payment term is available to all organizations. It is recommended to choose the STAR organization when creating payment terms. Then, enter the name of the payment term. There is a field for document note, which is non-mandatory. If you want this note to print on invoices or sales orders, you can enter the note and customize your print format accordingly. You can also enter an optional description of the payment term. If the payment term represents an advance payment, check the advance checkbox. To set a fixed due date, enable the related options. The Fixed Month Days field indicates the day of the month the payment is due. Fixed Month Cutoff defines the cutoff day for determining the payment period. Fixed Month Offset specifies the number of months into the future the payment is due. Entering 0 indicates the same month, while 1 indicates the following month. If you want to define the payment term using a week-based offset, week offset can be used, where 0 means the same week and 1 means the next week. Next, configure any applicable discounts. For example, if the payment term is 30 days, but if someone pays within 10 days, you can offer a 5% discount. You can also add another discount, such as 2% if payment is made within 20 days. Grace days allow you to extend the payment term before applying any penalties. For example, if the term is 30 days and you allow a 5-day grace period, payment can still be accepted within that extended time without penalty. The valid checkbox indicates that the payment term is valid for use in transactions. If it is not marked as valid, the system will not allow you to process the transactions. The active checkbox means the record is currently active. The default checkbox, when selected, makes the payment term the default option across the system wherever payment term fields are available. Now, let's understand the concept of schedules within a payment term. If a payment term involves multiple stages, such as 50% advance and 50% in 30 days, you can define a schedule. In this case, first check the advance checkbox. Enter 50% for the first schedule and set the net days to 0. Then create a second schedule for the remaining 50%, set it to 30 days, and define any applicable discounts, such as 5% if paid within 10 days. Save the schedule, then return to the main record and verify if the payment term is marked as valid. If valid, it is ready for use in transactions. Now, let's create the payment terms. Immediate is already available and represents advance payment. For this, check the Advance checkbox and save. If there are any existing transactions that may be impacted, the system will show a warning. Just ensure that it is saved and marked as valid. To create a 30-day payment term, select the organization, name it as 30 days, and enter the net days as 30. Then, configure the discounts. 5% if paid in 10 days, and 2% if paid in 20 days. You can also define a grace period of 5 days. Next, if the payment term includes a schedule, create a new payment term. Name it 50%, advance 50% in 30 days, and save the record. Go to the Schedule tab, click New Record, check Advance for the first schedule, enter 50%, and set net days to 0. Save this record. Create another schedule, enter 50%, set the net days to 30, and define the discount if applicable. For example, a 5% discount if paid within 10 days. Once both schedules are saved, go back to the header and ensure that the payment term is marked as valid. The schedules should also be marked as valid. That is how you can set up payment terms in the Onfinity ERP system. That concludes this session. Thank you for attending.